Welcome back to the Stylized Character series. In part 1, we were focused on blocking and sculpting the character form. In part 2, we'll begin Polypaint Texturing, where we add base colors, skin variation, and define the character final look. If you haven't watched the part 1 yet, I recommend starting there first. Let's come to our subtool there and start doing a Polypaint. So, as we did it when we detailing the sculpting, we make sure that when we want it to add the features, we need to have a high resolution mesh. So even for the color, we need that too. So you come to this subtool and go to the geometry there and see our mesh. Then a mesh we have divide again there, so to have more details for the colors, to have high resolution mesh for the color. So you see we're about having a 1 million pole. That's good. And now let's start there. For the pole paints, we need to prepare our colors. So we come this for material is where we select the material for the mesh. So we change the matte cap material there to skin shaded material. You see this color. I want to use this material, so I can come here to the color and I can say fill objects. So we fill this white color shade material. But if we want to fill with RGB, that's basically a color with the material. Also, you can with this material and RGB, we can select maybe this. Let's find our base color. Maybe I can swap our base color to this one and try to look this. Here we prepare our primary colors. Maybe and try to try this color. Maybe somewhere there. And for the secondary color, I used to look the most color I'm using. Maybe I can select this color. Maybe that's somewhere like maybe that color will be my secondary color. So I will select this color. So I'll come here and say I fill this color, so we can have this our base color. After doing that, we did fill. I can move this one and just it with the RGB. In order to texture the skin has a different layers of colors, so you need to define those colors and intensity to have a depth of the skin. So I will start here. You see this is so pale color, so I can come here. Maybe I can switch this to the light pale there, somewhere there, and when I press out, I can use the secondary color. And make sure that for this tool you use a standard brush when you paint. This stroke is good as we did. You use this. You can use spray for have a variation of colors in list of colors. So I can use a spray. I can leave the alpha, or I can use this small point of the colors, and make sure that we are not adding the details, so we can use a RGB there. So I can use there. In order to use this secondary color, you need to add when you're painting. So we see that we have a different colors, so we need to change this intensity and the draw size of the brush. So we can start there little by little you start adding the colors. I use a little brush, a little size of the brush, so to have more details. So you can use these different colors. This is for the head top. Okay, you need to have a layers of colors, so we can build different layers of color, so to have one color. And then for this side of the cheek, that's where we can use a red one there. So I can select this one and then use a red one there. So I can decrease the intensity, and I can increase there my brush size. We can use this red even for the ear area. This is where the blood vessel. Put more bloods there. And for the area that we are not seeing, we might change this to the blacks. So the area maybe this tip or the area that is too thin. The area that is not on 10. Sorry. We have to use that secondary color, and when you shift, make sure that you remove the add so that it not sculpt. So we shift, we are feathering the colors, intersect with the colors. So okay, in order maybe to want to sample the color, you can hold with that lift it. So I can select this and this one. We see that in secondary color we just sample them. So I can come here and use the secondary color. I press Alt and I try to add this color there. Okay. You can see now I want to have a color of the lip. The color of the lip. Let me see this. A little bit of shine. I can select this one here, and I want to sample this color. Maybe I can pull this up somewhere there, and I want to change from the spray to a freehand. So I can use this color. So you see this. I keep adding this color there. So if for this inner part of the mouth, I can use the black color so that we are not seeing that color inside that to increase the depth of this right there. So I can increase the intensity. Sorry, I need to use art, and I can smooth this for feathering the color, and make sure that that's in the area that we're not seeing, like this one. Maybe here I can sculpting and the coloring also. So I will use this up there, and I use this out. Sorry. Maybe for this color I can use this one. And I can you see this one. So for the color I want to use this I like this color there. Sorry, I need to remove the subtraction. Maybe I can add the brush and I can decrease the intensity there. I want to have a light skin there. Okay. Okay. Now after doing this one, you can come there and add a light layer for this brownish color. Maybe I can come and select this color there and a very bright one there, and I can decrease the intensity there, and I will smooth us. So we need to blend this color, so I'll shift and I want to blend with this color. Okay, maybe we can increase the intensity. And I want to so maybe we can add another color there. So take your time, minimize your brush and keep adding. Do a little by little. A small brush, it will paint nicely. So we need it to have much details of its skin. Sorry. We will need to change this to a spray. So we use a spray and decrease the intensity. Okay. We keep spraying this one till it's satisfied. You see, we keep painting till you're satisfied. Be patient when you do this stuff. 3D is the process, so you need to be patient. Okay, so we see how we have a balance of layers of texture. That is what we needed there. After that you will smooth. So feathering, we needed to feather this texture, so to have a nice fall off. Okay, you need to smooth again there. Okay, take your time. Brush this till you are satisfied with the results. Everyone can reach this stage. The only problem is your passions. You are playing with your passions. The more time you took, it will bring a nice results. So keep continue brushing with a smoothing brush. So we're smoothing our colors. See? Okay. Keep doing that. Okay. Now I can select this color, like this one, and then change the spray to go F3, and I can use the bubble on this one, and I can try to paint to our mesh. So I will use the large brush. Okay, I can use a large brush. So you see, that's the composed layer there, and then we come to smoothing everything. Okay, I'll paint it. I'm satisfied with my results. And for this, maybe I'll keep a little reddish. Yes.
Jack it up.
Okay, I think that's enough for today. Okay, we can come to our subtool menu there. That's an eye. For the eye, we use the different material because the eyes are shiny. So we need to change these two material, this one, and then change the skin shader to the toy plastic. Toy plastic, we need to see the toy plastic. You see that shiny? Yeah. So maybe I want to use this material in the RGB. We can select this material there, and I want to select the RGB, this one, right? So I can say the fade the object. After doing that, I can remove this RGB, and I'll try to paint this one. So make sure that the eyes have a more resolution, so to have more details of our colors. So you see this, we have a 2.16. I don't think that's good. Let's try. Can you use this drag, and then we use this alpha. Can create this dot, and I'll press X for the symmetry and try to see. We can increase the intensity. You see, okay. So that's good. You see, that's good. Let's change a little bit for this to reddish tone. So maybe we can use this brush there. Sorry, I can decrease the intensity there. We're not supposed to be 100, right? So I can use this. I want to use this. Then use this one. I want to change this to black, so I can drag. React to this. Okay, let me increase the intensity. Sorry, you see this have a sharp, so I can use the alpha with the sharp, so I can use this one. I don't need to have a follow for this. So you can see this, we have a brownish color there. So maybe we can start with the brownish color. Something like that. Maybe we can start this first. Maybe like this. And then we can drag with the black one. Maybe we can change the alpha. Okay. Maybe I can act with this one. I can use this, maybe a light one there. Let me try to zoom this out. We are not getting good results because of resolution. Maybe I'll go there and dynamic sheet and try to do it again. You see, now we see nicely. So this is good, but you see we have a high intensity, so we can lower this. Yes, we can create something like that. I think that's good. That's good. Maybe I can add a little thing there. Maybe I can somewhere be there. Sorry. I can increase it instead there. One. This one there. Okay, maybe I'm satisfied with that. And I want to look for these eyelashes. I come here for the eyelash. I select the eyelash there. Maybe we can change this material. And I can use this. We can use a vertical gray. And I can say this for the galaxy filter subject. Okay, that's for the material. We need to have a material in the RGB. So we come there to the fill and fill the objects. Okay. And for this, okay. And for this one, we need to have a material and the color. Switching this to the toy shape plastic. Okay. So nice. See what we have accomplished. Is it nice? So let's put this to the center of this and try to create our turntable. So in order to create a turntable, we come to the move and change this window to the document, so how we can take on the side of the document there. And for this movie there, we can allow to have a larger this, and I can use title image. For ZBrush, I want to remove that. For the overlays image there, I want to remove the opacity. And I will create a turntable. So it will start to rotate it to 360. So when I need to have a long turntable, I'll do it again. Turntable again. After creating turntable, now it's time for export. We need to export as a highest quality, so we press H and we export this one. So we'll name this ZBrush. Let's say let's call this head turn. So I'll export this one. And we out. So if this tutorial helped you, and make sure you like and comment and subscribe. Your support helps this channel to reach more 3D artists around the world. See you in the next episode. It's 3D Code Academy, KDFX. Ciao.